Hey y'all, it's Katrina with Faith in Loops Crochet. Welcome back, and if you're new here, welcome. I like to go over different things that happen in my crochet journey. Welcome to 3C's Monday. Today what we're going to be going over is the crochet retreat. Let me tell you, I had an absolute blast at this retreat. It was so fun-filled and packed, full of laughs and good times, and it was just such an awesome time. Everybody needs to take some time to themselves to do some things that they love. And this was an opportunity where a group of women got together and got to share their love for crochet with each other and share some awesome laughs and some cool patterns. And it was just a great time. So I did get a few snippets of some of the things that happened during the crochet retreat, and I'd like to share them with you. First, I'm going to go ahead and share with you the trip a little bit. Now, if you've never been to Kentucky, let me tell you, the roads are windy and curvy, and I wanted to show you a little bit of just a little sneak peek of what the roads were like on the way to the trip. So I'm going to go ahead and insert that now so you can see a little bit about how my ride went. So I am about 10 minutes away from the crochet retreat. I am so excited. I'm supposed to get there at like 1, and I'm going to be getting there at like 1:10. So I am hoping I'm not the first person there, and I'll be okay with like the second or third person there, but I don't want to be the first. You know, I want somebody else to come in and take that first spot. So I'm hoping that happened, but you know, I'm just happy to be there, so it doesn't really matter. It is definitely country life back here. It is windy Kentucky roads. If you don't know anything about Kentucky roads in particular, they are very windy, curvy, hills up and down. That is Kentucky roads, and I'm definitely on one of those roads. But I gotta tell you, the scenery is always beautiful. So you might be on the windy turns in Kentucky, but you do have a pretty view going down them. So I'll go ahead and give you a little sneak peek and turn the camera around about I'm on. See, they're very, very windy. Like I'm getting ready to go around this curve. Have no clue what's on the other side of this curve. It might be another curve going the other way. But definitely windy Kentucky roads. Definitely windy. And hilly. Now I'm going downhill. Told you. It's Kentucky roads right here. So, and there we go. And now we go downhill. So fun when you have no clue what the road holds. Oh look, I get to meet a giant log truck. Isn't that fun? Now I get to go around this curve with this huge log truck. Only in Kentucky, right? So glad I didn't meet him on the curve, hoping that his brother's not behind him. Oh gosh, very windy road. This is fun. Whee! I told you, you don't know what to expect on Kentucky roads. You really, really don't. But the scenery is beautiful. Even if it's very, very windy, it is very beautiful. Oh, here we go again. Uh-oh. Very sharp turn. Yep. Now we get to go over our bridge. I told you, Kentucky windy roads. If you've never been on them, this is what it's like. Going down some Kentucky windy roads. And it's even more enjoyable when you have no clue where you're going. I told you it's Kentucky windy roads. It really is. Alright, well, I am going to go ahead and hop off here now that I showed you the windy roads and where I'm at. Oh, look at that water. Isn't that pretty? So, alright, I will give you some snapshots of the cabin, and I'll be back with y'all in a bit. So the trip was absolutely phenomenal. It was pretty easy as far as I didn't have to really get on any major highways, which was pretty great in my opinion. It was a very, very just relaxing drive. A lot of it was through the country, and what you've seen wasn't even the actual what I would consider back roads, which are the ones that don't even have lines. I didn't get pictures of those, but there was some of those as well. So we get there, everybody kind of gets set up in their little spots or their areas, and we just crochet, check, get to know some people that we had that were new, that weren't at the one that we had in October. And then we could reconnect with some of the people that we knew that were at the last crochet retreat and get to know some of the new people. So that first day, I did actually get to get a giveaway. So what they did was they had a cup full of our names, and they just randomly drew names, and you got to go pick from this awesome table they had set up of different things that have been donated from different places. So like there was yarn and crochet hooks and t-shirts and coffee cups and a few lights, and there was just all kinds of stuff. So what I got, and this is so fitting for me, I think you will agree, is I got a shirt. It's a t-shirt that says running on coffee and crocheting, which is so me. I got my coffee, got my shirt, and I got some yarn and some hooks. So that was actually perfect. I seen this shirt and I was like, oh, that's me. And look, it's in my size. Perfect. So that was the first item that I got in the drawing. So I did get a couple different items, which I'll kind of break them in and go over them as we go through the video. So we got all settled and everything. And then the next day is when we started doing some different things as far as some crafts go. Of course, you're going to a crochet retreat. You gotta kind of know that we all have crafty tendencies anyways. A lot of us, and you might agree, are what I call serial crafters. You kind of have went from one craft to another. For me personally, I've done a little bit of everything. Diamond painting and quilting and crocheting, and I've done plastic canvas. That's where I started actually with my aunt, was plastic canvas. So throughout my life, it's always been one craft after another, and you find the one. And for me, crocheting is the one. But everybody has like multiple crafts that they probably do off and on in between their crocheting. So what we actually did that first day, our first full day there, was we got to do the amigurumi sticks. I don't have any amigurumi sticks. I don't know if you do either. I've been using knitting needles for a long time. But I did get to do the amigurumi sticks, which I thought were so fun. So I'm going to go ahead and give you a little clip of just few different people showing theirs, and go through a little bit of the setup and how it was, and then I'll show you what I did. Well, I hope you enjoyed that little clip of what exactly was going on whenever we were doing it. And you got to see a little bit of how like the setup was and everything like that. It was set up pretty good. We were supposed to be in a bigger place,
But, you know, sometimes a smaller place isn't always bad because it does make you interact with everybody a little bit more. So I'm not upset that it was a little bit smaller than the other one because I did have a blast. But I couldn't believe, and I've never tried to do them before, so I didn't realize exactly what the process was. I guess in my head, I just kind of thought it would be more difficult than what it was. But the amigurumi sticks were so easy to make. I recommend that anybody makes theirs. These are mine, and let me see if I can get them a little bit closer. I got a howling cow and a flower, and I kind of went with the mauve and the sage green and got the little balls on the bottom. And basically, you just use like this knitting needle without a top to it, and you just stick the beads on there in the order you want, and maybe put a little bit of glue on the top one. But I am super happy with these. I think they turned out really, really cute. And I've already used them a couple of times. And I recommend if you haven't done them, maybe you should try to do them because they were fun. I enjoyed making them. And I think I'm probably going to make a few more of these. I would like some that were maybe a little bit smaller, like shorter, so they would fit my kit a little bit better. But I definitely will be making more of those in the months to come. So we did the amigurumi sticks. And also that day, we did another craft, was making our own safety eyes. I am not the world's best at the safety eye making. I'm just not. I haven't been. I've tried it a couple of times at home. I can do it with like fingernail polish and a UV light, but actually mixing the resin and everything, I'm not the best. But I'm going to go ahead and show you a little clip of a little setup and all the lights and all that, and let's check out and see how the setup went. So that was the little clip of us doing the safety eyes. Now, whenever I was doing the safety eyes, I was in line to do the actual, like I had them painted and I was in line to use the UV light. And of course, I was holding the tray and chatting and talking. And I went ahead and it was my turn. I put them up underneath the light and let them cure. Once they were done curing, I took out the eye, and the UV resin had actually slid to one side. So I had to go back and add some more. But I think that they turned out okay. So these right here are the pink ones. And I used a chameleon powder on these. And they kind of have like a purple and pink look to them. Not so sure that the camera does them justice, but you can see how they like look pink here, and then they kind of go purple, and then they look pink again. I can't wait to figure out what project I'm going to use these on. They're probably one of those ones that I'm going to like not want to use because they're so pretty. I like the way that they turned out. So the next one I done was actually like a green and blue color, and a little bit of teal. It depends on kind of how the light shines on them. So they are also reflective like the other ones. See how they kind of go from blue to like the tealish green color and back to the blue. I'm not sure exactly what I'm going to be using these on either, but I do think that they turned out really cute. So we have these two right here. And I do think they turned out really, really cute. So see what project I'm going to use those on. So that wrapped up the second day, was going through doing the amigurumi sticks and the safety eyes. The next day was kind of a break day. We didn't do a whole lot that day as far as crafts go. We were basically, some of us, I don't know about you, but a lot of times that first or second night that I stayed somewhere, I have a little bit trouble sleeping. I think that's kind of common among a lot of us. So that by the third day, we were just like taking it easy. So what we did do is Stacy and April, Stacy makes and April with Cozy Buckeye, they did a Q&A, which the Q&A was actually going over the different tips and tricks that they had for producing YouTube videos, which was really neat to like hear somebody talk, because I'm a new YouTuber. They're more seasoned as far as they have quite a few viewers and subscribers and everything, and they've been doing it for a while. I'm a newbie. I have trouble filming out in the wild, so to speak. Like, you can probably see from some of my clips that I'm still getting there. I can do a lot better sitting in my yarn room and talking to you all than I can like filming out in public. So they were given different tips and tricks about different things. And I got a little snippet and just a few pictures of them doing it. I will make sure that I link the video below whenever they post it, but I'll go ahead and put their Instagram links and their YouTube links down below, so whenever they do post it, you can check it out, because there's a lot of good information in those videos, things that I didn't know. So I'm going to go ahead and pop that in now. If you are interested in actually starting your own YouTube channel, I highly recommend you check out those two videos. These girls have been rocking it out of the park for a while now. I don't know about you all, but Stacy Makes and Cozy Buckeye, anytime they post a video, I normally watch it at least within the first 24 hours it's come out. So they know what they're doing. So they do have a lot of information to share with you all. And I highly recommend you check out those videos. So that pretty much was what went on the third day. I did actually get another drawing. We actually got picked 3 times, so I still got one more item. But I got this really, really neat video light. And this light right here is actually one that Stacy said that she uses. And I don't know, whenever I take pictures and stuff, I have to like literally move everything around in my room. So I'm hoping that this might make it a little bit easier. I guess I should have opened it before, sorry. But I'm going to go ahead and show you exactly what's in here. So we have the actual light itself, which is pretty small, which I'm super excited to try out. And then it comes with a stand. And then it comes with a clamp and then a charger. So I'll be playing around with that soon. I thought it was a really, really cool prize to get, especially since I already kind of do some filming anyways. So I thought it was a really neat thing to put on the table as a giveaway. So thank you very much for putting that on the table. I can't wait to play with it. I haven't opened it because I was waiting to do this video, but I definitely will be opening it up probably later on this afternoon because I got some pattern tests I need to take pictures of. So that pretty much wrapped up day 3, which day 3 was a beautiful day outside. A lot of us spent, about half of us were outside all day crocheting, which was great because the weather was awesome. Now, the 4th day was not so awesome as far as weather goes. It actually ended up storming that day. So, and I wish I'd gotten a picture of some of it, but I didn't. Lessons learned. More photos and more filming. But so we wake up and we're getting our coffee. I'm going to take a drink, by the way. So we get up, and I'm an early riser. I'm one of the first ones up, or second or third. I'm among some of the first that are up. So the wind is like blowing big time. So the patio furniture was actually moving some of the chairs, and we thought we gotten all the pillows up the night before because we knew the storm was coming in, but we didn't realize that it was literally going to be moving the chairs. So we had to get all the chairs together and put them in the garage. And one of the ladies was like, "What do you think we should do with the grills?" And I was like, "I think the grills will be fine. They're pretty heavy, right?" No, they were not heavy enough to withstand the winds that were coming. I think the winds ended up being like 50 miles per hour at certain times, and it actually blew the grill over. So we had to take the grills and like put them in the corners so they wouldn't tip and fall over. So that was the start of the start of the fourth day. So the fourth day, we actually got to do several different things. One of the things that we did was the stitch markers. And one of the things that we did was the stitch markers. And I've done stitch markers before, and they're really fun to make. I don't know if you all have made any before, but they're pretty simple too. The only thing is that it does require, and I don't know the name of the tool, a particular tool that you need. That is kind of expensive side, but it makes things so much easier than trying to take a needle nose plier and to bend the wire. I don't know what they're called. So I'm going to go ahead and insert a video of showing some of like the tools and stuff that we used, and some of the bead selection that we had. And I will get back with you. So that was really fun to make those. I don't know if you all have made them or not before, but they are fun. So the first one I made was one that has a little dog on it. And I tried to get as close to my dog as I could. I have a little Chihuahua, and he's gotten old, and his brown fur has actually started to turn white. So this was kind of fitting because even the white eyebrows, my little dog's starting to get white eyebrows. So I thought this was close enough. And it has a plastic clasp. Now this clasp is a lot easier to use than the metal ones. The metal ones do hold up better. They don't break as quick, but the plastic ones are a lot easier to clasp and unclasp with one hand. So I always do the plastic clips. I learned that at the last crochet retreat, that the plastic it's easier to maneuver through the stitches. I also did this one as well, which this little ball on here is actually a bead. It is not an actual charm, but it looks like a ball of yarn. So I thought that was absolutely just darling that it was actually a ball, looks like a ball of yarn. So I actually used the plastic clasp on this one as well and tried to match up the colors. And I think this one will work really well because it's a little bit on the smaller side. I think I'll be able to like whip through it and hear it jingle. I don't know if you can hear it jingle, but hear it jingle. It's really neat when it like jingles while you're crocheting. I don't know, it adds a little bit of sound. I think they're fun. So also during that day, we did a plushie exchange. And that plushie exchange was an absolute ball. It always is. If you haven't done a plushie exchange or anything to that regard, let me kind of let you know a little bit about how it goes. So if you've done like White Elephant or Dirty Santa, it's basically the same thing, but we're using plushies. So everybody brings a plushie, you draw numbers, and you go and order the numbers, and you can steal an item from somebody else or pick one from the table. You can steal an item up to 2 times. And after those 2 times that particular item's been stolen, the third person that gets that item, it can't be stolen anymore. And that's basically the gist of the rules. The first person that gets drawn, if they don't get stolen from, then they get to pick out of everybody's. Of course, I always get a number that is high, is low. So I'm like 1, 2, 3. So I normally don't get to steal a whole lot, but you know, I did end up with a beautiful plushie. So I'm going to go ahead and insert the little clip. It'll be a fast clip. I'm not sure if there'll be any sound, just to kind of show you how it goes. If you do want to check out more of like the actual footage of the plushie exchange, be sure to check out Stacy and Cozy Buckeye's videos, because they got a more up close picture of what everybody got, so to speak. So I'll go ahead and insert that video now. So I got the cutest little bunny plushie. I have to show you this to you. This is so cute. This right here is by Tiffany. I'm going to go ahead and insert her Instagram down below to check it out. I have to tell you, this is such a cute plushie. I think the pattern, I'm almost positive the pattern was a pattern test for Jupiter with Going Crochet. It's one of her new releases, so I'll also link that below as well. But this girl, Tiffany, let me tell you, her stitches are so tight. She has very tight stitching, and she normally does like really intricate items. Some of the items she was working on, I'm like, oh my gosh, she had this one bat with the wing lifted up, and it was just phenomenal. You'll have to check out her page, because she does do some really intricate items, and her stitches are so tight. But this right here was the plushie I got, and I just love her so much. She looks like she was done with the mystical yarn, and that's my little bunny I got. I was so happy with it. She's actually going to go into my Easter decor so that I can put her out every Easter. She might sit on the shelf until then, but I just the excitement of kind of pulling out some Easter stuff, and then the plushie too. So I think I might pack her away. That way I can get excited every year whenever I pull her back out. But that is what I got with the plushie exchange. My item actually went to a lady named Beth. This was her first time at the crochet retreat, and her and her daughter Brooke were there, and they were absolutely darling. I enjoyed so much talking with them. And she actually I took the beehive with the little bee on it, and that she got mine. So I hope she enjoys it as much as I'm going to enjoy my bunny. So I got one more item that day, and this right here was the last pick that I got. And I actually had my daughter in mind whenever I got this. It's actually the Susan Bates bag, and then you open it up, and it's got places to put your crochet hook, and then it's see-through in the front. So like you can actually see what's in there. So I think this bag is going to be pretty cool. I think it can hold a decent amount, and then it's got the little clasp up here. It might be a really good travel bag. I'm going to check it out. I don't know if I'm going to give it to her or not. I don't know. You think I should give it to my daughter or keep it? I don't know. It'll probably just end up with makeup if I give it to her. But also, along with this one, I also got the Susan Bates hooks. I have never used the ones with the soft handles on them. I do have some Susan Bates hooks, and that's what I originally started out with. But because it wasn't soft, I ended up going to Clover. So I'm wondering if these are any better. Their sizes 4 through 6.5, which I typically use a 7 to 8 on what I normally use, like the Sweet Snuggles and all that, and Burnett blanket. I use a higher one, but I do use these sizes on worsted weight and on the Posh. So I'm thinking I'm going to try out the 5.5 on the plush, or the 6 on the posh, on the posh, and see how I like the handles. And if I do, I'm probably going to look and see if they have a 6 or a 7 in a metal hook, because metal hooks are better. And Clover doesn't offer them. So, now, I'm not going to go into full detail because everybody else has went through more of a detail on this particular event that happened. So, if you didn't know, or you haven't watched any of the videos, there was 2 particular people that were trying to go battle it out for the most plushies made while we were there. So one girl named Eva, she was going through and she was making a whole bunch of gummy bears. And there was another lady, which is Bobble Stitch Queen. She had a really high goal of making a whole bunch, and she actually, let me just say, one of them was a gummy bear bandit and the other one was a chicken nugget bandit. So with that story, I'm going to let her tell it, and I'll link her, Bobble Stitch Queen, I'll link her channel below, but it was just such a funny thing that happened, like all the way around. So I don't want to go ahead and go into that, but I do want to say that during this whole event, the lady that was making the gummy bears, which was Eva, went through and gave everybody a little gummy bear. And I'm actually going to put a little keychain on him. He is so cute. And that story was so funny. And I get tickled just thinking about it. Let's just say that some things were caught on camera, some things were stolen, some things were caught on camera. So I don't have the video, but I know that Cozy Buckeye has the video. So go ahead and check that out. There is a few shout outs that I want to give to people that were involved in some of the things during this crochet retreat. The first one is Robin from Knotting Hook Crochet. She actually gave everybody the emotional support dumpster fire pattern for free, which it's kind of funny because I actually had this pattern in my Etsy cart. So it was one that I was getting ready to purchase, and she gave it to us free, and I was excited about that. I think this thing is so cute. It actually says emotional support retreat dumpster fire. It's fine. I'm fine. Everything is fine now. And everything is fine whenever you put a crochet hook and some yarn in my hands. I'm good to go. So I'm actually going to put this onto my desk, and it's going to hold my needles so I can quickly access them. And I can think about Robin in the retreat and everybody else while I crochet at my desk. So I do want to say thank you so much, Stacy and April, for this wonderful event. I enjoyed it so much. And I know that you all put a lot of hard work into this event, and it came off great. You all done a wonderful job, and I can't wait to go on the next one. I enjoyed it so much. And I just want y'all to know your all's hard work does not go unrecognized. We realize how much work it is, and we have a blast. And I hope that you all enjoyed it too. Thank you so much. We appreciate it. And just thank you. So if you stayed with me, thank you for staying with me. I will be going over what I actually made at the crochet retreat in my next video as I break down the things that I've gotten done in the last couple of weeks. So if you did like my content, please like and subscribe. I'm super excited. I have reached 1,000 subscribers, and I'm actually thinking about doing a giveaway. So if you're interested in that giveaway, it's probably going to be in my next video. So I'll give details on how to actually apply for it. I do thank you so much for taking your time out to spend with me today, and I hope you have a wonderful and blessed day. God bless.